So, we're going to open up with a pretty heavy topic, and which is a pretty obscure topic, which nobody really knows about, and it's a really important part of employment law. Give us a little bit of a heads up on what general protection is in regards to unfair dismissal.
General protection is where someone has a workplace right, and as a result of them exercising or threatening to exercise their workplace right, adverse action has been taken, which is legalese. So effectively, what it means is I have a workplace right. For instance, I have a right to a safe work environment under the occupational health and safety legislation. I've been bullied, so I make a complaint to somebody. So you've exercised your workplace right by making that complaint. And then after the employer gets the complaint, they sack you. And so that's the workplace right, the exercising the right, and then the adverse action.
So the adverse action is the sacking.
That's right. It's the dismissal.
Okay, and
it doesn't have to be a dismissal. It can be any kind of adverse action. It can be reducing your duties, changing your role, moving you to a different department, changing you to a different city. So that's adverse as well.
Okay.
But most of the time, it's adverse action that leads to dismissal.
Okay. So you bring up something at work you're not happy with, and the employer does something to reduce your hours or limit you, or stifle your opportunities or whatever. You can then go to, say,
Fair Work
Commission,
yep.
And then say that there's been adverse action taken against me. And what action happens from there? Tell us typically what happens.
So you bring an application to the Fair Work Commission. It then goes to a conciliation conference first, where the employer puts in their response. You try to resolve it. And then if it's not resolved, rather than going to the Fair Work for final decision, oftentimes it goes to the federal court. And so general protection doesn't actually have a limitation on damages either. So we can do a comparison between an unfair dismissal and a general protections, but general protection is higher risk for the employer because it doesn't have a cap on liability, and it also goes into the federal court where can be some significant costs as well.
So an unfair dismissal is somebody who's just been unfairly dismissed for no reason, but whereas adverse action means that there's something, like they've brought up a safety claim, or they've complained about something, or they've, something that is a right at work, and then they're sacked. That's adverse action, and then that one's got no limitation on it because it goes to the federal court. That sounds pretty serious.
It is.